For the last couple of years now, 360 degree video is becoming more and more popular, and you've got companies like Motorola and the Essential phone actually doing specific mods to allow you to get 360 video on your device. However, you will need to purchase a phone along with the camera accessory, which can definitely get a bit pricey. Now you do have some standalone units like what you've got here from Samsung, but again they're going to be over £200 here in the UK, so they're not necessarily the most affordable thing in the world. So I wanted to see if I could get 360 degree video on a budget and have something that wasn't always necessarily directly tethered to the phone, and I think I found the solution. No, this is all wrong. It's way too early for Christmas stuff. It's still November at the moment, so let me just get this all set and alright, we're good. So today guys, we're going to be taking a look at the PowerAdd 360 degree camera, which at the moment is only $89.99. And for that price you're getting some awesome build quality and some great features. On the front of the device you've got the main shutter button, along with some light indicators for when you're recording, Wi-Fi, photo and also video. On the bottom of the device you've got the micro USB to charge it, a standard thread so you can actually attach this to a tripod, which is what I would recommend with this sort of camera, and also the micro SD card slot. Now around the device you've got a switch mode button to switch between photo and video, you've got a Wi-Fi button to enable you to use the built-in application, and you've also then got the power on and off. Now you've got a load of holes around the actual device as well, and these aren't just for aesthetic reasons, they're actually all of the microphones as well, so hopefully you're going to get some really awesome sound, which we're going to be testing later. And this thing is actually built a bit like a tank. The main ridge, as you can see going through the middle of the camera, is completely made of metal, and you've got a nice soft touch material here as well, although it is definitely going to pick up fingerprints which are easily wiped away, which is not a problem at all, but I would have liked some sort of case to help protect it a little bit further, as both of the lenses on the front and the back are fully exposed. In regards to battery life, it's got a built-in 1400 mAh battery, which is set to get you around 80 minutes on a full charge. But now onto the main feature, which is definitely the cameras themselves, and I say cameras because there is two of them, both with a wide angle of 210 degrees, and it stitches it together in such a way that you get 360 degree video without any blank spaces whatsoever and no overlap as far as I can see. In terms of the resolution, you're going to get a full 1080p at 30 frames a second, and you've also got a bunch of other resolutions that to me sound a little bit strange. So for example, you've got 1472 by 736 at 60 frames a second, and you've also got that same resolution at 30 frames a second, and a very low resolution of 960 by 480 again at 30 FPS. Now in regards to the camera quality itself, the actual lenses themselves look really awesome. They do protrude a lot from the camera, but again you're going to expect that for that wide angle lens, and just in general they seem to be really high quality. Now I'm going to have to see how the video actually looks to give my full thoughts and opinions on the camera quality and the video quality, but first impressions are quite good. Now you've also got the option to take photos as well at 5 megapixels and also 2 megapixels, and you've got a bunch of different options here, and again you've got optical image stabilization on both of the camera lenses with an f2.0 aperture to help in low light situations. So as you can see, I've actually put the 360 camera just down here on the desk at the moment, because we're going to go over the application side of things to see exactly how easy this is to function and use. So once you've downloaded the app for both iOS or Android, you can then go straight in and load up the live preview as you can see here, and it actually looks quite good. Now it looks a bit strange at the moment, but we're going to go over in a second in regards to the different functions of the camera. But if I twist it around, you can see me in the background there, and again this isn't moving the actual camera itself, it's just moving the view of what we can see 360 degrees. Now it's not just 360 on a plain field, it's completely around, so whether that's up, down, left, right, wherever you want to go, you've got the option to do so. Switching between modes now, and this one gives you a lot more detail and a lot more clarity. You can see me here in the background again, just giving a little wave, and it's extremely responsive. There's not really anything in terms of delay. There's maybe some dropped frames every now and then, but that doesn't come across in video whatsoever. And again, you can see just how wide the lenses are, viewing everything above my desk, which you normally can't. You've also got a tiny planet feature, which if you used Android a couple of years back, this was something really awesome when photospheres first came out and panoramas. You could actually create your own little planet, which definitely works best in an outdoor environment. But even to this day, it's still pretty fun. You've also lastly then got a VR function, which again you can use with any VR headset, so for example Google Cardboard, to get complete 360 degree wherever you're going to look, using the accelerometer, gyroscope and things like that within your device. However, you can also move it around using the touchscreen as well. Having a quick look at the settings of the application now, and again you've got all of the video resolutions and the different frame rates that I mentioned earlier on in the video, along with some of those stranger resolutions, but you know, it still works at 1080p, which is fine. You've also got recording mode for normal, high speed and also time-lapse, which I'm definitely going to be trying out, along with the photo resolution for both 5 and 2 megapixel. You've also got some options to change the capture mode, the exposure, quality, sharpness, white balance. It's a full-fledged application with some really awesome features. In the bottom right hand corner is where you switch between your shooting modes. So now I'm in video mode at the moment, and you can tap the record button down there to actually start recording your video. And again, it's got a little timer at the top to let you know how much you've recorded. There is also a blue blinking light on the camera itself, as you can see just down there. So it lets you know that it's recording if you're not actually very close to the camera itself. Now, one thing that's awesome is you can still look around when you're recording video, and this isn't actually going to come across in the recording itself, so you're not going to see any shift of view or anything like that whatsoever. Once you're done and you've saved your clip, it's got all of the files saved within the application itself with a really awesome file manager. And again, if you click on play, you've got the option to change the views as I mentioned beforehand. So we're in that sphere mode at the moment. You can then change it to a full landscape view and also the VR mode as well. So again, you've got all of the functionality, and as you can see here looking around, it does it using the gyroscopes. And it's a full-fledged application, which I didn't really expect from such a cheap product. A lot of time, if you get some of the cheaper action cameras, for example, from Amazon, they come with some really terrible applications that don't necessarily do the job. However, with this one, not having anything attached and not obstructing the camera, it works extremely well. Now, one awesome feature is the fact that you don't need to have your device with you whatsoever to actually use this camera. All of the buttons are on the camera and ready to go. So if I just press the shutter button here, it's going to flash that light there, so you know that you're recording a video, and it shows it's in video mode with that LED at the bottom of the camera there as well. You can then press it again to stop, and you also get audio cues to let you know exactly what you're doing. If you press and hold the button on the side, it's going to take you then into video mode and photo mode, so you can easily switch between the two. And again, pressing the shutter button is going to take a photo, and again you've got that little audio cue and the light to let you know that it's done. So to have all of this functionality built directly into the camera itself without having to actually take your device out and about with you is really awesome. But if you do want to have that live preview, then again you've got the option to do so. Also, with the thread on the bottom, it allows you to use any sort of grip or tripod that you want to use. Now for me, the one that I'm using here is the ShoulderPod R2 Pocket Rig, which I've done a full video about, which will be linked in the description down below. And this just allows you to have some more functionality with the camera itself. For me, 360 degree video is more about setting up the camera and putting it somewhere, as opposed to actually taking it out and about. So the option to actually put it on a tripod, have it really stable and put it in a busy environment is something that I really appreciate, and it's definitely something that I'm going to test in the full review of the actual video quality itself. Now guys, because this video isn't in 360, I can't necessarily show you any previews within this video. However, I am hoping to get a full 360 degree video. The whole thing is going to be in 360 to allow you guys to see the quality and just in general how good or bad this camera is. Looking at some of the previews back on my device, it actually looks quite good, and importing some of it onto the PC that I've taken already, again, it's actually not too bad. For the price that you're paying, it's not going to be as good quality as something like a Samsung 360 degree camera, or even maybe some of the ones that are attached to an actual phone itself, but for the price you can't necessarily complain. And that is going to do it guys for this video. Everything that I've talked about is going to be linked in the description down below, along with the actual camera itself, so if you guys want to pick one up for yourselves, you know where to go. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up down below. And if you've got any questions or comments or anything that you want me to show in the 360 degree video, let me know in the comments section or on Twitter at COPPERVSGLASS. For more great content moving forward, don't forget to subscribe. I'm Michael from COPPERVSGLASS. Thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.